Good afternoon, Prosper. Today is truly bittersweet as we are about to enter our last week of school, and today will mark the final episode of the pandemic program. I'm Emily Baldwin, and joining me today is Michael Vandershoot.
Good afternoon, Prosper. Like you said, Emily, it is certainly a bittersweet time as our seniors will be finishing out their high school careers in such an adverse situation, but we have made it to the end of the school year and what we plan on being the last episode of the pandemic program.
Yes, hopefully we don't have to continue this remote learning in the fall. As much as I love being home with my family, I can't wait to get back to school and back in the studio with everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the coronavirus has certainly changed the way we're learning, but it has also affected the way that people celebrate. Many community members have set up drive-by birthday parties to bring smiles to people's faces while cooperating with social distancing.
Birthday parties. Something kids of all ages love to celebrate, yet another event canceled by COVID-19. With strict social distancing rules and places like Main Event and Urban Air closed, some people have gotten creative in finding ways to celebrate with drive-by parades.
I liked that even though I couldn't be with my friends on my actual birthday, they still came by and showed me that they all were there and cared about me and celebrated it with me, even though I couldn't actually have a birthday party and see all of them, so it really meant a lot.
Although this may not be what we think of as the normal way to celebrate, these drive-by parades are still making our community members feel the love from their friends and family.
What I liked about the celebration was that it was unexpected, and the amount of love and support that showed up in front of my house, like I never would have expected in a million years.
The celebration made me feel so happy because I had no idea that they were going to do it. So it really showed me that everyone cared and that everyone wanted to come celebrate with me.
With so much uncertainty from COVID-19, sometimes just seeing the faces of those we love is all we need. This is especially true for Mrs. Henderson, who won CTE Teacher of the Year and got to see many of her students drive by.
They brought all these people with them that was wrapped around my block. I don't think anything could have ever topped that, So I think that in itself made it very unique, and it was just like a cherry on top of a cake. It was just I don't think you can outdo that. So,
reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Emily Baldwin. Prosper.
COVID-19 has certainly changed the way we celebrate, but we will see it begin to return to normal with Prosper's graduation ceremony. Graduation will not be held virtually, as many seniors and parents had speculated. Governor Greg Abbott announced that graduation ceremonies may proceed as long as they are held outdoors and social distancing guidelines are followed. The PHS's class of 2020 graduation will be held in person at Children's Health Stadium on June 5th at 7 p.m. Further information and updates are available on the Prosper ISD website. Michael, you're a senior, and I'm assuming will be participating in the ceremony. How are you feeling about this plan for graduation?
Well, I just like to say that yes, I will be going, and I'm very grateful that I will have the opportunity to be able to see a lot of my senior classmates one more time. Although we unfortunately won't be able to do things in senior week, like the Powerpuff game, and Adventure Landing, and Main Event, Field Day. We won't be able to experience any of those things anymore, but the teachers and the administrators have done everything they can to cope with that by giving stuff like Adopt a Senior, where they give us gifts and all of that. I've appreciated their efforts in doing that. Along with that, they'll also be giving PHS yard signs for seniors to essentially feature their soon-to-be graduates. Choice Murphy has more on the scoop.
Our PHS seniors will be missing out on a lot of memories and traditions from the typical senior year, but many are still trying to find ways to celebrate their graduating loved ones.
Having a sign in my yard doesn't necessarily make me feel like I am graduated, but it reminds me that this year is special and that this year is different.
While it's not a replacement for a traditional end to their senior year, these yard signs are a great way to honor seniors' hard work and achievements.
I'm going to college in Hawaii, so I'm just super excited to be in Hawaii and being able to experience the culture there, and I'm going to be majoring in hospitality and tourism, so there's a lot of cool things I can do within that. But one last thing I wish I could do with my senior class is just say goodbye. Walk the halls one last time and just say goodbye to all my teachers, and I everyone in my classes and just the people that I may not be like super good friends with, but that their presence means something to me and that I won't necessarily see them again. And I just wish I got a good goodbye.
It's important for us to remember we are all coping in different ways throughout this pandemic. It is vital we do all we can to continue to uplift and support each other. Reporting for Eagle Nation News, I'm Choice Murphy. Prosper.
It's great to see our hardworking seniors still being celebrated even during this unusual time. Moving on to some more good news, last week Dunkin' started selling DIY decorating kits, and store managers say, quote, customers can't wait to get their hands on these sweet treats. In early April, an employee at a Dunkin' store in California asked if she could take home plain donuts and decorating supplies so that her kids could have some fun with them. Her kids weren't the only ones who ate this idea up. The store manager and company executives thought it was a great way to engage their customers. Shortly after, 2 stores began selling boxes of plain donuts with sprinkles, frosting, and all of the other toppings you can normally find on donuts. There are 2 kit options, a 4 donut option that sells for $5.99 and a 9 donut option that sells for $9.99. While these kits are only available at select stores right now, they are expected to expand across the chain.
Researchers are scrambling to find a treatment for the coronavirus, but little did they know it was already on the shelves of most drugstores. COVID-19 victims who took famotidine, the active ingredient in the over-the-counter heartburn drug Pepcid AC, were more than twice as likely to survive the virus as opposed to those who did not take the drug. Patients who used Pepcid AC began taking it either orally or intravenously and at varying dosages, 24 hours before being admitted to hospitals. Among the more than 1,500 people not taking the drug, 22% or 332 people were either put on ventilators or died. Among the 84 people who did take the drug, only 10% or 8 people were either died or were put on ventilators. Experts warn that this could be a simple coincidence, and there is no clinical data proving that famotidine helps lessen the effects of the coronavirus. They also warn that it should not be used as a preventative medication. Since these findings, a clinical trial is being conducted, but we will not have conclusive results for a few months. Even though graduation itself is not virtual, there are some things that seniors need to do virtually to prepare for the celebration. Here's Corey Tennyson with how to access graduation materials and additional ways seniors should be getting ready for their big day.
If you're a graduating senior, you're likely preparing to leave your high school life behind as graduation inches closer and closer. Throughout your time in high school, you've probably done a lot of hard work, from essays to presentations to projects and more. But just because you're graduating doesn't mean that you have to leave all those things on your Prosper ISD Google account. So here's how you can take your Prosper ISD Google account data with you. To begin, we need to go into your Google account settings. On a computer, go to Google Drive or Gmail, click the icon in the upper right hand corner, and then click Manage your Google account. Then, on the left-hand side, select the Data and Personalization tab. From here, you'll have 2 methods of taking your data with you. Method number 1 is to transfer your data directly to your personal Google account. This is faster and isn't reliant on your internet connection and your own hard drive space, but requires that you have enough storage on your personal Google account. You can find out how much storage you're using on your Prosper ISD account within Google Drive. Find the section titled Transfer Your Content and then click Start Transfer. Enter the email address of the personal Google account you'd like to transfer to, and verify it with a code. From there, select the content that you'd like to transfer and then click Start Transfer. Depending on how much data you have, it can take up to a week for this transfer to complete. Method number 2 is to download your data yourself. This method isn't reliant on how much cloud storage you pay for, but is rather dependent on how much storage your computer has. Within the Data and Personalization tab, scroll down until you find the Take Out or Delete Your Data section, and then click Download Your Data, which will take you to Google's Takeout service. From here, you can customize what data you want to download and what formats you want it in. Once you've customized your archive to your liking, scroll down and click Next Step. Now, customize how you want the archive delivered, the archive format, and the maximum size of each archive file. Click Create Export and wait. Note that like the transfer option, this can take a long time. Keep an eye on your Prosper ISD email, as you'll receive an email from Google once the archive is prepared, which from there you can download. And that's how you can take all of your digital stuff with you. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Corey Tennyson. Prosper.
It has been great hearing from everyone on our Twitter polls and Instagram, but we decided to bring back something special for our last episode to connect with you guys a bit more. Let's kick it to you guys with this edition of the Quarantine Chronicles.
Well, my opinion has changed a little bit. I think it is easy on some parts and a little harder on other parts. I feel like I've been able to make my own schedule, which is nice, and I'm also trying to eat better and work out more, which I think this quarantine is a perfect time for self-care for everyone in many different ways. And I think there is a light at the end of the tunnel sooner than we think, because the cases are going down in some places, they're rising in some places still, but obviously we're allowed to eat at a few restaurants, which is exciting, but I think being careful and cautious and wearing masks is still very important to do, because it is possible to get it anyway, even though it is ending soon.
Hi, my name is Jonah Leonard. I'm a senior at Prosper High School, and I'm sad that my senior year ended early because I didn't know it was going to end, and I wasn't ready for that to be the end. And I just wish that I could have one more day at school. Just one more day of high school, and then I would be happy.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the final episode of the Pandemic Program. I'm Michael Vandeshoot.
And I'm Emily Baldwin, bringing you all the news you need to know today.
And remember to stay at least 6 feet away.